Well, welcome back to Bourbon Riders. In today's first pour, we're trying the Four Roses Single Barrel Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Now, this is from Warehouse ES, and it is barrel 33-1, P as in Penelope. Now, I have been stressing out on which Four Roses to try because, as you know, Four Roses has a bunch of different variety from their base model all the way up to their small batch select. I've heard good and bad about the small batch select, the single barrel, and any number of other ones. I kind of decided after all the reviews that I would try the single barrel. It seemed, of the people that I read were reviewing it, like on Total Wine, for example, they were more passionate about the single barrel than any of the other products. Now, a single barrel product will vary in taste from barrel to barrel. So other than a blended whiskey that is blended to have consistency in the taste, this isn't. The taste is what it is. So some single barrels might be really good and some single barrels not so much. So you're taking a little bit of a chance with it, but the reviews that I read basically were overwhelming. People like this stuff. Now, the only thing that concerns me is that Four Roses talks about this bourbon as being a high rye, hand-picked single barrel. I'm normally not a fan of high ryes, but I heard such good things about this product that I thought, well, I'm going to try it anyways and make a good first pour series. So here we are. So we've taken the plastic off and we're going to see what that initial first pop is like. Oh, I popped it so much, some of it came out. Clean up on all five. It's a nice looking bottle. I like the glass work in it with the roses. It's very pretty. Interesting aroma. So let's put it in the glass and see how the color is. This is a lighter color than a lot of my other bourbons. I like the way that closes. It's a beautiful bottle. Yeah, this is more of a, I would say, a light amber. I've seen a lot of ones lately that were almost a medium of dark amber, and that's probably due to the charring of the barrels. Not too oily. In fact, I can hardly see any oil on the glass. It's very light. Let's see what the nose says. Floral. It's like the first thing I get out of it. That Four Roses, right? Duh. I'm certainly getting a lot of fruit. A little vanilla. Not much oak. I really, some of these high ryes that I've smelled before, you smell that. You can smell the spiciness or the spices of the rye. It's not a very strong bourbon as far as aroma goes. I should have cleaned this glass better. I just used it in another first pour, wiped it out. I didn't want to go to the trouble of actually having to wash it. Wiping it out, it's fine. It's alcohol. That's different from your normal bourbon. It's not, how should I say, it's typical to get a brown sugar molasses, maple, depending on the finish. In that flavoring, sometimes vanilla. Always, kind of a sweetness above everything else, and then you get that oak in there. This is more fruit. It's almost like a bourbon wine. I mean, if you know what wine smells like. Very fruity, with a hint of vanilla. I really don't get sweetness, but it's not overwhelming. Well, let's see what the palate says. You do taste the proof in it, but not bad. Yeah, you can taste the proof. You taste a little bit of spice. You do taste a citrus kind of blend. Kind of like a good apple or peach pie or pear. Some light fruity goodness with a sweet aftertaste. I think the high rye is giving me the spice versus a baking spice. It's just a little spicy, is all. Not bad, but it's not like some of them that you get that baking spice and you're getting a flavor with the spice. This is more just the spice is there because of the rye. Very smooth, though. It would surprise me. Some of the high rye bourbons I have, I don't think are smooth at all. I just, if you like spice, they're good, but I don't necessarily want to go to them for a sipper. This is a good blend of citrus and spice. It's probably different than anything else I've got. And I probably have 23 or 24 different bourbons. Most of the ones you know, and a few you don't. So, what does Four Roses say? It says, on the nose, dried spice, pear, cocoa, vanilla, and maple syrup. Well, I picked up the dried spice, the pear. I didn't pick up the cocoa. I picked up a little bit of vanilla, and the maple probably provided the sweetness I was smelling. The palate hints of ripe plum and cherries, robust, full-bodied, mellow. Now, that's not what I picked up at all. I didn't pick up dark fruits. I picked up more light fruits. And they talk about the finish, smooth and delicately long. I would agree with that. I have no problem with that. So it is a recipe makeup number 1, aged minimum 7 to 9 years, and 100 proof, and considered high rye. Well, had I saw the high rye symbol on it, I might have gone for a different one. But this is tasty. I think it's in the probably the mid 40s, so I consider this a mid-price bourbon. I'll try to put that in to one of our mid-priced bourbon tests in the near future. It would be I might be able to pick it out pretty easy, but it might be a good head-to-head against some of the other mid-price bourbons that just have not as interesting a flavor. So, if you're a Four Roses fan, I can see why with this. This is good. It's not great, but it's good. It'd be a good sipper. With the citrus, it might be good over one of those big ice balls. Get it a little cold. It might help the citrus flavors, or as they say, the ripe plum and cherry flavors come out a little more. But you definitely taste the fruit, regardless of what fruit it is. You definitely get the fruit in the nose and in the taste. So a little bit different from the traditional, you know, dark fruit, deep sugar, molasses, maple kind of stuff. This is a lighter pour, a lighter sip, but definitely would put it in my rotation for a daily sipper. Certainly would have no problem drinking it at any time. It's pretty good, and I think for the money, you're getting a fair product. I'll be interested to try the small batch select, which I've heard good and bad on, but I understand that is the people that like it love it. So next time we buy a Four Roses product, I think we're going to try that. I'm going to stay away from the base Four Roses product. There's a lot of negative about that. It's $20 and it tastes like $20. So I don't know that to be true, but I'm going to stick with the middle and high versions of that. So far, I'm pretty impressed with this product. So if you like this video, we hope you will come back again, and please subscribe. And remember, always, please do not drink and drive. Drink responsibly. And if you're on a motorcycle, be safe out there. We'll see you next time. I should have cleaned this glass better. I just used it in another first pour, wiped it out.